Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're going to continue working on the Lego Studio shelving. I've got a big box of minifigures. I'm going to be putting all those minifigures with their sets. So that's pretty awesome. So yesterday, I discovered that there was a leak in the ceiling. Oh no, I've got like a bucket that's been collecting water, quite a bit of water in there, and then I've been running the dehumidifier. Because of course, before I discovered the leak, there was no bucket there and the carpet got all wet. But look at all the water in the bucket. Quite a bit, not too bad. But then when you take a look at the dehumidifier, this thing is a lifesaver. Just pull this out. Take a look at all the water that this thing has collected. Quite a bit. So it's just been sucking it out of the carpet, and now the carpet is pretty much dry. So yeah, problem solved. And I think the HVAC guy is gonna come by today and finish patching that up so it doesn't happen again. Thankfully, there was no Lego City here. There was a little bit of Lego, like right there originally, but I moved it away, dried it off, and it's all good. And also yesterday I built these cabinets, and today we're gonna place them in the Lego shelving rooms. Long before we started moving, I decided to package up all the minifigures. So here's the big box of minifigs. We pretty much sealed them in bags and then put them in freezer bags and then put them in this box. Look at that. That's a huge bag of Lego Star Wars figures. And more Lego Star Wars figures. There are a ton of Star Wars figures. It's actually wild. Holy cow. So now what we're gonna do is unpackage all of these, lay them all out on a table, and then start putting them on the shelves with their sets. In yesterday's video, I mentioned that I measured the floor to ceiling height of this room, and I thought it was a 1/4 inch more than the other room. And I can confirm that that's not the case. I ruined my ceiling texturing. Oh my gosh, it needs to be repainted and retextured. You can buy like these cans that's just those like small spots of texturing, and then I have more ceiling paint so I can touch it up. But wedging these shelves in here was quite the scene. I also removed the Star Destroyer and the Millennium Falcon and slid in the triple unit. Now we just need to top that with a fresh sheet of melamine. Might order those today, 33 of them. And I put this in here, the double unit that used to be under there. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. It might be worth having a pod there and maybe a pod over here to the left, and then feature a couple epic sets on the top and within as well. And there's still plenty of walking space. It's an idea. If we run out of room, well, no problem. Like, look at that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 feet on either side. So that's a lot of room. That's 48 inches of walking space. I'm thinking that I've got to screw these PAX units together. I didn't do that to the other ones because they were sitting pretty flush, but these ones here, I think the ground is a little bit more uneven. So if I just do the exact same thing that I did to my Billy cabinets with these like toggle bolts or whatever you want to call them, I think that'll work. Like if I do maybe 3, like one at the top, one in the mid, and one on the bottom, it'll eliminate that gap and then they'll sit nice and flush. Look how close they are to the light. So close. And then once again, the ceiling is destroyed, but I'm just happy that they were able to be wedged in here. I know you can build them like standing upright, but that just sounds like a pain, a bigger pain than a little bit of paint on the ceiling. No big deal. I'm excited to load these up, but first I better screw them together. Before we continue with today's video, I just wanted to let you know about my next Whatnot live stream, which is taking place on Saturday, May 11th, starting at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. During that stream, I'm going to be auctioning off a ton of these minifigures, starting at only $1. Plus my Buy It Now store will be loaded full of the sets that you see behind the table there on the shelves, and also these CMFs. In addition to that, I'm also going to be giving away the brand new Lego Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series TIE Interceptor. If you win a giveaway, I cover the international shipping. If you're not on Whatnot, you can join using my affiliate link, which is in the pinned comment and description below. And when you join using that link, you're going to get a $15 credit, which can be redeemed on your first purchase. A ton of great stuff. I hope to see you there. Let's get back to the Lego. All right, it's time to load this bad boy full of epic sets. Here we go. The top shelf is going to be something pretty epic. I'm going to group together 2 LOTR sets, or Lord of the Rings. We got the Tower of Thank. No commenters, that is not a leak. That's an old set. And then there's also Rivendell as well. It feels good to get both of those sets on a shelf together. Below that, we've got the Hogwarts Castle and then the Colosseum below that. Castle Fortificata to the right, that is actually an alt build of the Colosseum. The Avengers Helicarrier above that, and then the music shelf. And look at that, put the Eiffel Tower to the left there. Now I also want to like put something on this middle cabinet here. I'm not too sure what it's going to be, but I dig this island. Maybe it should be an airplane. Maybe it should be the Titanic. Haven't quite decided. I like the look of those shelves. They're a little bit sparse right now, which is good because there's room for expansion. But I mean, on this shelf here, you can only fit probably one more shelf, maybe above the Colosseum, but I do like it open like that because now you can actually see the Colosseum. In the past, the Colosseum has just been so crowded. And because the Colosseum is right here, I thought it was a great idea to bring in the Eiffel Tower. I had the Eiffel Tower in the other room, which is the Lego Star Wars room, so that didn't really make sense. But I had it there just because I knew I'd be hauling these in there and I didn't want to watch it crumble to the ground again. Then there's Castle Fortificata. The Avengers Helicarrier has really good visibility, so that's good. And then just the piano and the guitar on top. This shelf has a lot of space. I just decided to throw those shelves in so they're even with each other, just because I think it looks good. Now, don't worry about the UV light. I've got a solution for that, and it's going to be installed in the very near future, and I'll let you know when that happens. So as you saw there, I was testing out the concept of having the floating islands in the middle. And I like that. The Titanic looked pretty cool there, but so do these planes. We've got the Boeing Dreamliner, and also the Concorde supersonic jet. Now you can actually see those. I had this up in the corner up there, and some people were wondering why I keep putting it up there. Well, that's just because I didn't really have any big shelves to display it down low, and it doesn't fit on a billy shelf. So the only way you can put it on a billy shelf is if it's on a corner unit like that, way up in the sky, but then you can't really see it from the top. This thing is pretty like studdy and platey, but it looks good. I do have the specs plaque somewhere for it. Actually, I have the tile, like the panel, which I think is 10 1x8 tiles or something like that, but I have the sticker somewhere and I've got to locate that and actually put it on there. Now I tested the other floating island as well. So this one I have as a spare, but I decided to remove the other one from the Star Wars island and pop it over here, and I moved the Titanic on top of it. And I think that looks really good. I like the 2 single islands. I wouldn't want to go any larger than this. For example, I could do them, like I could put 2 per pod, do them back to back, but then it's going to become too tight in here. That's not my mission. I don't want it to be claustrophobic at all. I want it to be nice and open so you can actually walk around this stuff. And also I want it to be the size so that it doesn't block the stuff on the shelves behind, because that's not the point here. We're trying to have full visibility, right? And I think that looks pretty sweet. I love the Titanic out in the open like that, and I love the 2 planes as well. And then there's also the shelves underneath as well, so I could fit some pretty big stuff under there. I don't think it takes away at all. I think that test is positive, so I'd have to buy another one of those if I wanted to move forward with that. But yeah, lots of room for expansion in this room. Pretty sweet. I love it. We've got all the minifigures ready to go. Check it out. It's wild. They didn't even fit on the roller table. The majority of them did. Look at that. We've got all the Harry Potter gold figs, some Batman, and DC behind that, all grouped together nicely. And then Star Wars. There are so many Star Wars figs, it's actually wild. But for the most part, I am going to be able to piece these back together because I know which sets they go with. For example, this whole line right here is Mos Eisley. This line is Cloud City. This one here is this guy's ship. Kylo Ren's ship. This one is Darth Vader's castle. Obi-Wan Kenobi's starfighter. The Justifier. This is the Millennium Falcon, one of the 3 that I have.
yeah, so like I can go through and I know what these belong to. That's why I decided not to label the bags, just because I've built all these sets and I've been displaying them for so long, so I just know which sets they belong to. Look at all the Star Wars ones, though. We got more up top here on this little half billy as well. Some pretty cool figs. They're going to add so much life to the shelves. And once again, this whole table is jammed. And also behind me on the Star Wars island, we've got even more Star Wars figs. Also, the yellow submarine, the Ferrari figs, some stuff for the smaller Avengers helicarrier, some Guardians of the Galaxy, Buzz Lightyear, Mickey and Minnie, Lord of the Rings, all the Rivendell figs, the Orient Express, the Disney Villains, Disney Castle, the El Dorado Fortress, also Gringotts, Stranger Things. So now what I need to do is just go around and put these all on the shelves in front of their sets. And it's going to be quite the process, but I'm pretty excited about it because this will pretty much complete the Lego shelving for now. I mean, the Lego shelving will always change based on new sets being introduced and trying to fit more in here and then just coming up with better displays. But I think this will sort of like finish it off and make it look pretty epic. That's for sure. So let's get to it. Woo-hoo. Off we go with the minifigures. Oh my gosh, it's like one big puzzle. Those minifigures are absolutely everywhere. I don't know where they go. No, I'm just kidding. I know where they go for the most part. And if I don't know, well, I've got the technology to find out. There are so many great Lego Star Wars figures, and I just love looking at them. And the more I go through and look at the sets and the minifigures that they come with, I'm just like, man, there are so many cool Lego Star Wars figures. I love this. It took a little bit longer than expected just because there was a lot of them and I wanted to try and piece it together as best I could. Moving into the other room, we've got like all the Marvel figures, DC, Harry Potter, some Jurassic, Vikings, Disney, all that. It's super easy to put those with their sets. So what do we think? Does that look better? I think so. I like it when all the minifigs are paired up with their sets. It just makes sense. Somebody did mention that, hey, you wanted to have like an uncluttered display. Maybe you should display the minifigures all together somewhere else. But I like having all the figures just in front of their sets. Hey, do you notice something here? A long time ago, well, not a long time ago, a while ago, I was like, hey, I'm missing my C-3PO with the restraining bolt. I don't know where he is. Oh my gosh, he's exclusive to the UCS Sandcrawler. There he is. He was in the bags. I don't know where he came from. He just somehow came out of the woodworks and he's here. I was grinning ear to ear when I discovered that. I really like having all the figs in front of their sets. I think I got it all right. I don't know, if I didn't know where they went, then I quickly Google Lensed it and I figured it out pretty quickly. Thank goodness for like Google Lens and technology. Oh, it's just beauty, just looking up all those figs and saying, oh, I don't know exactly what figures go with this set, so you just scan it quickly and then boom, you figure it out. Yeah, not too bad. AT-AT's looking pretty fresh. The B-Wing has no figures, but I did put one in the cockpit. You see that? A little Easter egg there for you. All the TIE fighters along the top there look pretty epic as well. And the helmets. Oh yeah, pretty cool. I love it. I gotta go get myself that little R2-D2 and also the invisible hand. What's wrong with me? There's a perfect spot for the invisible hand right up there. I just missed the May the 4th promos for that too. Why wouldn't I do that during May the 4th? I don't know. I still need to reassemble my UCS AT-AT. I don't know why I haven't done that either. Oops, my bad. Yeah, look at all the figs that come with this set here. Like, wow, Cloud City. Sort of why I wanted to have it up here, because classically that set would be buried on the bottom shelf. And I didn't want to have these Master Builder series buried on the bottom shelf. Somebody mentioned that I should lower the shelf with the Death Star, and I do agree, there is the space there. What I could do is lower it so it's the same height as this shelf. That might actually look a lot better because then it's more consistent and you can actually see the Death Star. But then you're going to have whatever 4 inches of wasted space. And eventually, if I really wanted to, I could condense it down and we could add another shelf there. And we could definitely add another shelf here. In fact, I could just pop another shelf in there and I could bring Mos Eisley, which is just sitting on the ground over here on its own with all those cool figures. Wow. And I could put it on the other shelves over there. But eventually I want this to be all Lego Star Wars as well. And I still need to build my UCS TIE Interceptor. What's wrong with me? Do you think this is better turned this way? I think it's better. By the way, if you hear a notification sound, you're not getting a notification. That's my phone. And it's actually connected to my Bluetooth speaker. But do you think it looks better like that? Turned sideways? Of course, it doesn't look the best right now because we're missing a cabinet, but this actually showcases the gap that is going to be filled with the wood. So you can get right in there. Maybe I should plant an Easter egg in there of some sort. Put like a duplicate set of there or something. There you go. I definitely like this room. I love the islands. I think that looks fantastic. And the fact that all the minifigures are with their sets now is amazing as well. So that's beauty. Happy about that. Just talking about this a little bit here today as well, while thinking about it to myself. So I need to expand these by, I think it's 5 studs. But I think rather than building one giant unit, I'm going to just increase the size of these units and have them in 2 separate pieces. Otherwise, they're going to be too difficult to move. So yeah, what I got to do is just rip them apart, rebuild them, and then figure it out. I also want to change the substructure on a lot of them. This one's pretty good because it uses some of the Technic pieces, but a lot of these have some valuable bricks inside, and there's just like a mountain of bricks being used. I think I can get this down to a little bit more a lightweight build, and also extract like all the green brick out of them, because one of them was like built with like a whack of green brick, and it's like no. The green brick is too valuable for the Lego city. And in the past, when I wasn't building like hills and stuff for the medieval area, green brick wasn't as valuable. Yeah, look at that. All the figs with their sets, they're pretty well allocated. There's a few that were like question marks, specifically with Star Wars. A few right here. I think actually I don't have these sets because I Google Lens them, and then I put in keyword bricklink, and I looked up what sets they appear in, and I don't own those sets, so it's just like some miscellaneous figures that I don't have the sets of. I was talking about these corners too. I like the Eiffel Tower there, but I could get a smaller Besta unit that's the same height, but it's narrower, and I could put it there. But what would be really cool though is to have a corner shelf right there. Some sort of corner shelf that is like a triangular shape, so then I could put stuff in the corner, or I could put some art there. But the Eiffel Tower did a really good job of filling that area. So I want to get something and put it there. I'm not sure what. And then once I get all the shelves installed, I'll be able to do the same thing here as well. Art is definitely a solution. Like for example, I could put the Sith art on the side of the shelves, and I could definitely do that. And then I need some taller sets for on top of here too. So there's room for growth, which is a huge bonus. You know, we've got this display room that's, everything's a lot more visible and everything looks a lot better, and there's room for like substantial growth, and that's just with like the current displays. So even after we fill these displays, there's room for even more growth after that with the addition of more shelves. It's funny, yesterday I made a video, and at the beginning of that video I mentioned the fact that I wanted to paint the basement, so I have like a little review station down there. I think there's been like, I don't know, 5 or 6 comments asking, why do you want a review station at home? That doesn't make sense. You have this beautiful studio that you've worked so hard on creating so that you can specifically film videos here. The reason I want a review station at home is because I can build Lego sets at home. I don't need to be here to build a Lego set. For example, if I'm building something that's massive, like the Eiffel Tower, that's going to take you 16 hours to build. Well, I may as well just build that at home, because then I'm in the presence of my family. For example, if they're playing in the basement, I can be sitting there building Lego, and I can interact with them, and they're going to see their dad more often. So that's the primary reason why I wanted the review station and also the build station in the basement. It's just so that I can hang out with my family. Also, I don't have to drive here and drive home just to build a set. And I just think that's better. But then somebody said, well, why, I don't understand. Like, if you want to be with your family, just take a day off. Or if you don't want to waste gas driving here, then why do you have this place? But it's just because if I'm going to film a time lapse of me building something, or if I'm going to be building something or reviewing something, that can be done at home. This place is specifically designed for freeing up space in my home, building epic displays because there's more room, and also hosting a much larger Lego city, and also has a larger space up top, which can be used to build and organize large-scale mocks, which I wasn't able to do. Well, I was able to do it at home, but there wasn't enough room to do that over there, like, you know, in a non-claustrophobic way. I'm trying to think of the word. Maybe in an efficient way, but this place offers me the ability to do that. But if I have the ability to build, review, and time-lapse from home, then I'm going to do that just so I'm with my family more often. Does that make sense? If all the parents are definitely being like, yes, that makes sense. Good call, Jordan. Yes, that is a really good call. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify why I wanted to do that. If I could dedicate, 20 square feet at home to that, and then I could work from home 1 or 2 days a week, I may as well do it. Even though I love being here, I love being at home as well. Everybody, that's really about it. Just wanted to show you everything and all the minifigures being added to the shelves. I thought that was pretty neat. Oh yeah, and also the HVAC guy came and he fixed that, so next time it rains, it should be good to go. He actually took the whole venting system off the roof, recaulked everything, redid everything, and now it's good to go, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the very near future. And look at that. That's killer. Farewell.